Howdy y'all, welcome back to my channel. This is Kfierce IRL, and today we're going on a trip down into the holler. So come along with me as I go down there. So we are making our way down the holler down the mountainside to see about picking some plants today before everything dies off, So I'm just trying to make my way. As you can see, there's a nice little trail down there. And as you can see, the bus is right up there. And we're going way down there. But I'm going to see if I can take y'all along on the wagon trail this time. Because you can see right there, there's a nice little smoother area. And this was what was called the wagon trail, because my great-grandmother lived at the very bottom of this wagon trail. And so this was like the trail that they went up and down when they were going to and from her house. So we'll just continue on down, avoiding all the glass. I definitely have to do some cleaning up down here. And here's some barbed wire. This was apparently put down a previous neighbor to try to alter the land slightly. But it actually funny, it actually goes through the tree. But apparently, according to the surveyor, that was a false line. But at any rate, so right there is the spring house, and right there are some trees where I found mushrooms. Found morels there earlier this year. Now typically you'll just go down through here, but I'm just staying up here on the edge, and then right there where X marks the spot where the trail starts. So let's continue down this trail, shall we? So now we're on the second part of the wagon trail behind the X. There's the spring house. It no longer has spring water, but we're going to make our way down. Might not look like there's a trail there, but there's a trail there. Just trying to, be a little careful. Take y'all with me on this adventure, This trail has definitely been overgrown, so definitely going to have to work on widening it out and making it to where I can see a little bit better to know where exactly I'm going. I had to dodge that spider web. Spider web, spider webs. Oh, I got one on my nose. But, I love having woods in my backyard that I can just go out and explore. I say explore like I haven't been down this trail a bazillion times already. Funny, earlier this year, I believe it was right around here, I lost my phone. And leaves were all over the ground, and it took me forever to find it. Oh, as I said, I got to clear out some of this trail for sure. But hopefully we'll get down here and find some singing nettle down there. And as you can see, this trail is not what it used to be, but it's still there, and we just got to open it up a little bit, Make a little more space. Ugh. I'm okay with breaking down a few of these little trees, so it's not that big of a deal as I properly make room for more. And watch out for all of these thorny things everywhere. Ooh, this is going to be a rough part. Ugh. There we go. That clears out a little space to inch our way through. I'm gonna have to come through sometime and like properly clean out this area, you know? Because this area got quite the overgrown. This tree's falling apart, slowly but surely. Ugh. So I appreciate y'all coming with me. Sometimes it gets a bit lonely hanging out here in the woods by yourself, you know? So having a little company with me makes it a little better. So let's continue on a bit more, shall we? Ooh, look at all these mushrooms. They're just all over that log right there. I love mushrooms, especially the more I get into outdoor foraging and living life, you know? So it's so pretty here. I know like my video camera is not the best and definitely doesn't do it justice, but it's so gorgina here. I love it. And actually I lied earlier in the video. This is the spot, because I think I remember I crawled under here and my phone had slid down the mountain like right there, and it was literally like right here under a whole bunch of leaves, and I spent forever looking for it that day. But we're getting ready to hit our next bend on the trail. As you can see, I don't know if you guys can really see, but in real life you can see it, like the bend that comes down. So we're just gonna step down this way, and you can see the trail that way. You can see the trail that way. Like, you can see where this trail once was. It just has to get widened out, you know? At one point in time, I was really liking the idea of seeing about widening out this trail to be able to maybe have a car drive down, because to be honest, I wouldn't mind down here at Great Grandma's place putting like a little camper or something for friends and family to hang out with and go camping out in the woods, you know, and still be close to everybody. But I don't think that's possible, sadly. But at any rate, we're going to continue on. And now we've arrived at the opening to where Great Grandma's place is. Now this place was covered in stinging nettle not too long ago, but a lot of it's died back. And I did say stinging nettle, and I guess I gotta correct myself. It is in fact wood nettle, which is related but slightly different. It still stings ya, but we're still going to see if we can harvest some for fiber. And I believe these are all spiceberry plants. I did pick a few spiceberries earlier this year, but I believe we have found our first group. As you can see, they've got serrated leaves, and I don't know if you can see along the stem if my phone's going to come in, but you can see there are tons of little hairs all over this plant. I wonder if this one will show it a little bit better. But there are a bunch of little hairs all over, and that's the stinging part of the stinging nettle. So now we're just going to go through and try to pick ourselves out some longer ones. I believe there are some longer ones down there. So we're actually going to venture a bit more into the actual holler part, and we'll see what we can get as far as like longer sources go, because they're all over the ground. So, and of course, I had to have forgot my my camera stand, but that's fine when you're doing this by yourself. So I've obviously got my gloves on so I don't get any stinging on it, and I brought me my handy dandy clippers. So we're just going to clip this as far down to the ground as we can. And You can see this one's a really nice, I mean, obviously I'm wanting much longer strands for fiber. The longer it is, the better it is, and the less leaves it has, the better it is to process. But you know what? I'm going to take what I can get, you know? Little ones are still useful, so. And before we go any further, I will say let me show off this one other part down here, because I don't think I ever included this in a video before. But these stones right here are from my great-grandmother's house. These are all her stones. I'm trying to find her hearthstone, because even her hearthstone is here somewhere, but it could be overgrown. I think it might be this one right here, but I don't think so, actually, now that I look at it. I'm going to have to wait for some of these leaves to die back, so we'll definitely be making more trips out here in the wintertime. So now we got some more. This one's a longer one, so I'm just kind of picking them up. A lot of these are yellow, brown, green, you know, they're all still green, but they're all on the later end of things. So we're just picking a whole bunch and seeing how it goes. As I said, I've never made these before, so this is all in just going for practice anyways. So if I don't have the longest ones, it's fine. I'm just kind of trying to learn what I gotta do. So, oh look, there's another big one right there. Not me over here, just like running around on the side of the mountain. Oh, let me tell you what though, it is so lovely here. Now I got me all kinds. Let me see if I can get me a few more, because there are some big ones over here, at least comparative to what I have been seeing. So I don't know if y'all can see, but we have hit the mother lode of all of these big ones. So let me go through and gather up a lot of these big ones, shall we? Because these look like these are going to be nice specimens to use. Oh. Ooh. I'm told it's better to clip them, that way their root balls stay intact, and that way they'll grow again next year. But look how big these are. My bundle of nettles. Oh, I'm so excited because I've been really getting into crocheting a lot lately, and I was like, you know what, it'd be cool if I could just make my own fiber, you know? And from what I've heard, I know they used to make fiber out of stinging nettle back in the day. So I'm like, I'd love to see what I can do with wood nettle. So you can still see there's a whole bunch of hairs on these. All of these have their nice serrated leaves. So I'll definitely go through and recheck all of these plants when I'm back up there. But I'm quite sure that this whole bunch is some super tall stinging nettles. So I'm just going to go and harvest some more of these. And now this one, as you can see from the first one we picked, this one's even taller. So we definitely want to grab this little specimen. As I said, we're not grabbing them all. We're just grabbing some, you know. But as you can see, hopefully it'll want to zoom in, but probably not. This one doesn't have as many hairs, but there are still hair. You can see right there. You can see that there's still a few hairs on these. These are Canadian wood nettle, so they're not as intense as stinging nettle. And from what I can tell, works slightly different. But we're going to be experimenting today to figure out making fiber from it anyways. So you can see up there is the top of the mountain we climbed down on, but obviously went a nice easier way rather than just hiking straight up the mountain. So I'm gonna go pick some more and I'll get back to y'all.